We're tackling the pressing issue that affects businesses worldwide, cyber resilience and the importance of cyber insurance. As cyber threats continue to escalate, organizations face significant financial and operational risks. And then Richard Frost is the head of consulting at Armata Cyber Security, joins us on the line to talk to us about how companies can adopt a multifaceted approach to mitigate these risks. Richard, good evening. Welcome to YOUFM.
Good evening, Pat. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your time. The rise in cyber incidents has been alarming. I mean, can we get you to explain just how the current landscape of cyber threats is impacting organizations in terms of their financial stability?
Yeah, Pat, it's a good question. I mean, if you think about it, in the old days, it was always a question of, people say, oh, I'm going to get hit by ransomware. It was a possibility. Now it's a question of more when will it happen, right? We're seeing on a day-to-day basis malware that's disrupting business and creating severe expenses for those companies, but also business email compromise, where someone receives a fake email pretending to be somebody else, entices someone to make a payment that they shouldn't into the incorrect account, and companies are losing money through this process as well. Some people, even at a personal level, we've actually seen making transactions, between 10,000 up to 250,000 rand, even just because they were duped by a fake email into paying a fictitious account. And it's happening more and more. It's not just big corporates that are seeing this. Small enterprise, SMBs, and even personal accounts are being targeted by threat actors these days.
Yeah, these thugs are working a lot harder. Plus, they now have the assistance of AI. We spoke a little bit when I was introducing you about a multi-pronged approach to cyber resilience. Talk to us about that. I mean, what are the key components, for organizations to focus on?
Yeah, so I think everybody's focusing on cybersecurity from the aspects of getting, endpoint protection and firewalls and email security and stuff. What we've been trying to do is create more the concept of cyber resilience. Mm-hmm. So not only are we protecting our organization from an attack, but also saying, what do we have in place if attack does happen to, number one, mitigate the attack, minimize the impact of that attack, and then, try and get the systems restored quickly after the attack.
Yeah.
If you do have malware and you've got 100 servers, try and contain it into one or two servers and try and stop it from spreading across all 100 servers so you can restore your systems quickly and maintain production.
Let's get to the big issue of insurance, cyber insurance. Why it matters particularly for small businesses. Talk to us about both the pros and cons.
So I think from a pro perspective, what a lot of people don't know about insurance is it doesn't just cover the actual breach itself, right? Paying for people to come in and fix the problem. It also covers things like liability, legal costs, anything that would, pertain to the business reputation, damage that's caused by the cyber attack. A lot of the times you need legal advice when dealing with the POPI regulator, because if there's a data breach, obviously there's a potential POPI infringement. And those things need to be dealt with legally. You need a marketing team to obviously talk about what's happened and disclose the breach, but want to disclose it in a way that doesn't actually impact your business too much. I think if you look at some of the companies out there that have actually disclosed breaches in the past, they've been very reckless, either not telling the clients enough, and then it's come out that the risk was more severe.
Yeah.
And in other cases, they've kind of blurted it out too quickly and kind of caused a panic. And I think from a cyber insurance perspective, a lot of those hidden costs that you don't see are kind of covered by their policy. So it's obviously beneficial to have it. There is, of course, a cost factor. A lot of companies are hesitant to pay the large amounts of money for the monthly premiums. Cybersecurity and cyber insurance is seen as a grudge purchase. Like, why do I have to do, why do I have to pay so much money? But it is something, unfortunately, that's become a necessity. For smaller businesses that can't afford cyber insurance, there's cyber warranties. Okay. But if you can get the insurance, it's better to take that out.
And so just walk me, through the process. Say I'm consulting with you, and I've just brought you into my business, and I'm saying, listen, please advise me in terms of my cybersecurity. Just the typical things that you'd point out, just in closing, as far as our discussion is concerned.
So with our organization, we try to gauge the risk appetite for the insurance. So if we go into a customer, we do a form of risk assessment.
Mm-hmm.
We would go through their qualifying form. So there's obviously a questionnaire that you have to complete to get cyber insurance. And I think for the cyber insurer, the biggest issue is they don't know what risk they're inheriting when they insure a company. So we try and give them an accurate gauge, so to speak, of what the risk is that they're obviously inheriting. In some instances where the client has too much risk and the insurer doesn't want to insure them because of that risk, we normally advise the clients on what they need to do to fix, the problems so that they can become insurable.
Mm-hmm.
We understand in the industry that you can never be 100% secure from a cyber attack, so your cyber insurance is obviously your last resort. But at the same time, we need to obviously cover a level of risk mitigation to allow the insurer to feel comfortable inheriting that risk.
Richard, thank you so much for your insight. I think a lot of, particularly small and medium enterprises will be looking into this, and we appreciate you walking us through it and also highlighting the importance thereof. And a good evening to you.
And that's a pleasure, and take care.
Thank you. Richard Frost is the head of consulting at Armata Cybersecurity. Look up the company, and you never know who's out there, looking at your website and looking at stealing your data and so forth. Literally, Jack Sparrows of the internet world, really. And you want to protect yourself. And look, I mean, you may want to just ride without any protection, but once there's there could be a hack with your business, and reputational damage could be irreparable, really. So please speak to somebody who knows these things, and make sure that you're protected and protect the identities of your customers as well. It's Life and Money. It's 7:30.